DBA deeds. So how it started, why, what, how. So it started with like to be like in a vibe coding, like in a vibe DBA, like in a traditional DBA has changed to a cloud DBA, and cloud DBA has evolved to now like in a vibe DBA. So basically the question is like in how we can adopt like an AI to an databases. So started developing like in a small prototypes within a personal spaces within a different trial versions, taking a good out of everything. So and this application it's almost like in 50K lines of a code. So what it is called, it's called like in a DBA dudes. So imagine like the why right, imagine the DBA spends like in a most of 60% of their timing answering the same questions. So is database is up or down, is database is slow, so why my database is querying timeouts, and why spending like an hours in a call reviewing and the same set of a knowledge of a DBAs running and the scripts against you on a performance databases, on the production databases, to what's happening exactly in the databases, whether it is an application behavior, network behavior, or the storage behavior. It all boils down to as in a database, right? So what if I tell you like those all things can be achieved using an AI in the seconds, asking within a plain text of a language to a database and gets you a meaningful information from the databases within a seconds using an AI module. So let's quickly dive into it. I will demo it so you can able to understand. So let me log in as like an admin user for any application. This application is built on Python latest version with us in a Flask as like in a web medium, web browser, web server, and plus in a JavaScript as like in a front end. And the line change is used to as an agent communicating to your databases. So here is like in a landing page currently, and where you can able to see like in a quick onboarding how you can able to what is this and how it is able to what you get from this application. It is a quick onboarding information whether you have to create your own database connection and make that active connection and then start asking as in a databases and a questions. So let's dive in over here. So let me keep it this side here, and these are like in a set several things. So currently the LLMs are set and tested with as an offline model, which is like an Olama Q3N. That's a model name which is fantastic, but it requires like lots of on a computer. And but right now we have kept LLMs to as in a Gemini Vertex AI. So let's I have connected to as in one of the cloud databases, a cloud databases on the trail versions for the Postgres. There is nothing is running, so let's connect to that databases. So here is like in a database that's an AVN that is connected to my low online databases. That's a free trial version that I have connected to here. So let's ask like in a couple of questions what exactly this AI is brings to over here. So let's ask like what is like what is on the status of the database? What is the status? What is the status of the database? So now you ask the English prompt will goes and backs communicates to it with as an LLM Postgres agents, and then it goes and runs against to as your database, gets your information in the sense. Traditionally consider this all things can be done by the script. So see your database is running, there is no high user IO information, default database is there, and it has like a generic database. So this basically this database doesn't have anything, but you can also ask like an application related things like whether what's in a form names, or whether you want to integrate this to as an insight query builder, or you can able to do a lots of other things. And so let me ask like a little more technical question over here. uh, so what is on a buffered? This is also on a shared buffer. It takes like a lot of time to go and get it right. So you have to go to log in to the database and then go and gets your information about shared buffer and those all things. So but here you just a plain text, it converts as in a SQL Postgres query agent and connector, and then it goes and runs against you as in a database. So let's talk about a little more like in a security things. So we have like we told like and we have kept like in a strong guardrail filters like in a content filters, and like in a SQL safety filters and the PII filter. So what is in a content filter? Content filter, imagine like the person is should not ask like non-technical related kind of questions like per se like an what's let me ask this one. So what What is the weather in the temperature in the Dallas? See here, you can't able to ask these questions because the RAG and LLM agents connect to a databases. Then the model itself is changed to as a database age a specific related to a specific database relation model. So if somebody is asking like in a non-content or content filters like in geopolitics or something else, those verbages are also being blocked. So let's ask like a little more like I want to drop like and if I have given this application to an DBAs, what if they have an accidentally without an intentional, the intent filter is also as a problem, right? So if there drops like an drops or alter or anything, then immediately it blocks it. See, you can't able to do that activities on my databases right now. So there's a lots of things like and remembering this English statements is also is a pain, right? So with an AI, so you can eliminate those all things using pretext messages over here. So like in any performance issues, those you can able to ask those things over here. The detailed information is over here. So it runs on a pre-checks like an active sessions or something else. You can able to get all those informations over here and get you in a blink of an eyes. And it's all depends upon your token and where you are keeping your tokens, whether it's a GCP or OpenAI Cloud or something else. The tokens matters a lot on the performance on the AI. So these are the predefined English statements. You can able to use it if you want to quickly diagnostic from a databases. So what are these agents? So like as an agents, I was telling like an agents are like an choreographing of an event or as like in a sequencing like in a fight sequence during an incidents or the bridge calls in the on the databases. Per se, if you are troubleshooting like as a performance like any DBA comes into as they go and check like what's happening on the server level. If there is a top SQL is there, then they're gonna find out those bits, and then if there is a backups are running, they'll check like and if the CPU is running hot or it is memory is like in a full, they'll check those things and then they'll go over drill down to as in a databases whether there is any blocking sessions where it's in a sequence where the queries are being slow, like is my database healthy right now or there is blocking sessions, which query is having to needs to be fixed. So those are the choreography kind of things. You can able to create your own agents like I want to check this script related to my version, and then goes once this is success, then you can go back to as a next thing. So you can create your own agents and run it. So here is like an agent that I want to deploy it. I am running onto it. Then I'm again asking like an precisely like what is like give me like more information. Here I'm gonna ask, and all your information you can save it. It will be saved under like in a SQLite database of this application, and at the same time it is like stored in the file system on the application as well. So it is a recommendation it is giving is like in a PG install like in a PG statements, because it makes sense because I'm using like a free version of a Tails. It has like in a one CPU and 1 GB of a memory, and it doesn't supports like giving like this one. So it is saying that okay, you have to create your PG extension so that I can able to track more of an information. That is what it is giving. It is pretty niche, saying that I can't find you because this isn't a problem, try to create it. So it is pretty good. Similarly, we have like lots of an agents related to performance, troubleshooting, query optimization. If you give them a query, it can able to tune the query for you and give you a recommendation whether it requires as an index or not. And there is like a security and a CPU and mount and the CPU trending information, or there is a wall log or a replication is problem, you can able to do it. And then what is this AI agents? So AI agents is nothing but like scheduling the AI agents templates into an in the scheduling basis. So if I want to schedule like a performance, and if I want to pick it like a CPU detector on the daily basis, I just want to get, and you can able to integrate this all Teams, Slack, or anything to get it notification. I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm just gonna create this monitor event, and then I just want to create it. So the job is submitted right now. If you want to run it right now, let's go and run it here. The job is running, and if you see the status, job output is started, comprehensive. What is this job name we have kept here? Let's refresh. Let's run it. I see here. It is saying that due to us like an incapable of an connections, I can't able to get you any information because it's a free version of a tool. That's why it is not able to do it. And then you can able to always like and choose your own version of it and just run it include like in a scheduled version. I have kept like a daily, weekly, or like an hourly basis kind of thing, and you can able to delete it. I want to just want to delete. You can able to run it over here if you want to run it one time. Let me delete it so that it will be clean for next demo. So what is this AI generator? The AI generator is in the same thing. It's like if you have like any bad queries, or if you want to convert your queries from an Oracle to an Postgres or Postgres to an Oracle, this is in a medium where you can able to convert your queries using like an LLM help, and then you can able to convert your queries and get some information. So here is like an queries like I want to run like an what is if you don't remember very quickly like on the Postgres test what is a blocking session, then it generates like a generic query. Or if there is like a query that is get problem and there is a syntax error, and if you ask an exact syntax error, it's gonna fix it and give it to you. It is in a pretty niche version that it can be utilized by any applications or any like an old autonomous query builders like an front end builders. Those can be leveraged and taken help of this one and start taking an advantage of making a query generation complexity and the temperature of the LLMs. You can able to set it, and then you can start testing onto it, run the database against to it, then it goes and runs. See here, let me ask this one the same question over here. I got this error. I got this error, and then I'm gonna copy. Let's ask an AI given information to an AI. See if that can help me out on this one. Let's give this one. I hope this works in the demo. So there is some limitations on my trial database, avian travel database. So that's why I couldn't able to get the more underlining of active session. So here is like another session which I just changed the verbiage over here. How to get like in a list of a Postgres users. It's imagine if then a DBA they wants to write it this one, it takes some time, or to run gets like in a run the scripts. It's like in a one knowledge. It's like a predefined knowledge scripts can be used by over and over things, but using here the AI can be changed or adapt according to your databases. So here if you see right, I just ask it like what is in a list of user queries, and then it is gives you a query, and then it I able to run that query, it able to get the information what it is required. These are the three users that it is there, four users are there inside the database. So it can be used a lot of other ways, the query generators and SQL queries. I'll explain a little further, like converting like changing Oracle query to a Postgres query. You can all able to do that. And next, what is an Ask OEM? Ask OEM is like a small prototype that the backbone of this one is like, and you connect your OEM database use, and then the EMCLI will be able to get more critical alerts or warning alerts, and then you can able to secure those alerts basically on the how to fix those critical alerts using an AI agents, and then start deploying those automatically. Like if per se like if warning message on the table space system on the table space or in the Oracle database, the AI agents will able to detect it, the table space, and it goes and adds and extend. It's gonna add like another data file. It prior to that, it goes and check whether it has an ASM is an available on this one. Then if it is unavailable, then it's gonna add, checks whether it is in a full table space is like in a full data file, or else like it's a regular table space. Then it's going to ask if it is a big file, then it is going to extend the table space, and if it is like in a non-big file, then it is going to add like in a new data file, and it gives you like an, so it's like in a catching up like an OEM alerts, and your AI agents able to fix those alerts, and then it's you'll get like notified those things. So this is in a prototype that's still work on progress. And Ask DBA is like another module where you don't need to connect anything. And there is like an MCP right now. MCP you can basically it's this is an application. It can be used like in a front end version of an application, or it can be connected to as like an API tools. Whether you, you want to run the diagnostic, you can able to run your MCP server. The MCP server is there. Or if you want to get like an create using this MCP connection, you can create your own agents like an tell DBA or ask DBA or like an query DBA. You can create your own agent, and underline you can hit this your API call and get your information. So that's an overview of this MCP. So I have created like a limited of like an 8 tools, but you can create it how many tools basically adapt from this application. And we have like a set of like an data explorer. We can you can query your databases, or you can able to ask like an here, let me ask this one, what is an port running on this one? So I don't know how to get it, so let me run it. So here is like in a small run, and then you can run this one, and then it gets you an information right away from the real database. Or if there is like in a query that it is running late or the slow query, you can ask and take an help of an AI and to get your explain plan, and then you can ask it whether it requires an index or else whether it requires a vacuum. It all does it for you using an LLM models over here. And here is like in a live monitoring this and a quick overview. I don't want to get like a DBAs not to distract from this trail having like multiple tools. So this is a quick overview exactly from what is happening on the database with some size, how many it is waiting or it is an active sessions, and how many transaction trends, and this all things is a list of an active sessions, how much is an queries is there, and you can get it everything into an CSV file as well. And there is no long running query and the connections and everything. So what is on a SQL IQ? SQL IQ is like in a little bit what you call like a snapshot version of an IQ that we have kept. I want to see like what's exactly it is happened today versus like an yesterday. You can create your own snapshot, and then you can start analyzing what exactly it is happening this query the last real previous day versus today. So it's going to diagnose the query of the execution and the response time based on the snapshot was taken previously versus today. If there is like in a more traffic yesterday versus today, it's going to diagnostic using an AI, and it's going to get you a recommendation down over here saying that hey, your query was like an executing longer today because there is like running like a lot of an other dependencies jobs, so that's why it is taking an long. So either way we can able to control those jobs, or else like we can change those frequencies of a job, so it can able to. So it's in a snapshot. You can take it here in a snapshot, or else you can leave it like an auto snapshot every 6 hours or 8 hours. So and you can start comparing it on your own databases. So that's an a SQL IQ intelligence with inbuilt with AI. So this is a database AI explorer, and we have like some predefined DBA playbooks that you can able to run it against your databases, whether it is in a Postgres or anything. You can able to run it if you have like in any other customized queries that you want to run it on the daily basis, you can able to do that over here. So LLMs, like I was telling, like we have like an 8 models right now. We have set it up, and currently we are using Google Vertex, and we have also supports like an offline models, Grok and Olama is like an offline models and other things. And we can able to integrate it with like an email, Teams, Slack, or BMC proactive nets or webhooks. We can able to integrate that. And then this is like in a log file, who is logging it, everything is in a tracked under like an SQLite databases underlining it. Apart from that, and we I hope you understand, and I hope this makes sense. What is DBA deeds? Looking forward for more questions. Thank you all. Bye.